Joe Beermaster here. Today we're at the Opal Ridge Gold Mine in northern Nevada, near Winnemucca, Nevada. So here we are.
Well, we're not going to fill it all back in here. So first over here.
Look at this mine.
Shows that we actually want to do a layback on this wall right here.
Looks like the Grand Canyon almost.
Yeah, we're not ready to do it. Yeah.
If you look carefully, you can see the trucks bringing the ore out. See that one there? One after the other coming out.
No more ounces left.
This mine started in the early 80s. And what they do is test areas, see if there's gold, and that's the areas they work. And they just keep taking it out, and then they send it to the mill for processing, which we're going to show shortly. So everything that eventually makes its way up there.
CJ Sadler. I'm a process supervisor operations. I got volunteered to explain the process to you guys. Timo Duran, he's our trainer. He should be following up behind here. So basically in the process department, we take all the ore that comes out of the pit in the underground. You guys already went and looked at the pit, right? Mm-hmm. So all that rock and dirt comes up to us, and we initially take it and we turn it into a slurry. And we have grinding mills that do that. So we have a two-stage grinding circuit. So the first stage is a sag mill, and it's a big, tall, skinny mill, and it's full of 5-inch steel balls. They look like little cannonballs. And the mill turns, and it tumbles those balls and the rock and the ore that comes in, and it breaks up all the rock in that into smaller rock. And so it has to get less than 3/4 inch minus to exit the mill, or at least that's the goal. It then exits the mill into a pump box where we pump it up to these big cyclones. A cyclone is just a big cone piece of pipe, and the pressure that feeds it creates a vortex inside there, and centrifugal force forces all the heavies to the outside of this cyclone, and the heavies fall out the bottom, which then feed into our second mill. The lights end up getting pushed to the inside of the cyclone, and they get sucked out the top through the overflow, and that's our fine product. That stuff doesn't need to be ground anymore. And so the heavy core stuff, the rock, essentially goes back to our second mill, which is our primary ball mill, where we have 3-inch grinding balls in there. And that's a big, long, big mill. Has a building over here. As we get further down is our 2 autoclaves, and I'll point them out as we go. So it's got a 4,000 horsepower.
This is as much gold they get out here. 870K ounces. Today's prices. Each one brings in that much. It looks like just about. Pretty cool.
From there it goes through these tanks. Call those CIL tanks, carbonate leach. So we add the cyanide and absorb the gold on the carbon. From there the carbon goes over to juniper, which is on the far side. We won't go over there. And then that's where it goes into the refinery.
Alright, so the first part we saw surface mining. And this here is a shaft. It goes into the earth. And they go straight down and mine the gold and lift it up through the shaft.
Stopes that go over an ounce per ton. Bucket, and they'll lower that bucket down to shaft bottom so they can spray the walls with shotcrete. Same thing when you're pouring the walls. You put in a bucket, put it in the slit form.
The shaft is under construction.
And all this, again, all this steel over here ends up going away. Those are just storage areas for the jumbo and the shotcreter and all that. This is almost a duplicate of the one you see up there. Kept the design pretty similar. Here's the part. Chop it small enough that it's less than 20,000 pounds. Put it back together.
This is the hoist room.
1,500 horsepower motor.
Lifts everything up from the shaft. See the cable?
It's out in the head frame. Now the big one that'll be attached to this one, it can hold 80 people at a time. This little one can only hold 4 or 5 at a time. You'll see the difference in cable size as we go by. So this is only 7/8 steel cable. The other one is 1 7/8. So the crews generally work 5 on, 5 off.